Good morning, beauties. Happy Valentine's Day. If you celebrate it, show some love with my little heart sweater to the neighbor next door, your friend, your mother, your parent, your guardian, your angels, everyone. Much love to you. This is day 5 of my hair not being rewashed or reconditioned. I've been pretty much living in a buff this whole time. A buff is basically this microfiber S cotton blend hair sock that I call it. It goes around your neck and then over your head like you just saw me with it. It's pretty durable. You can get all different colors, sizes, patterns, mostly on Amazon from where I find them, where I recommend them. Okay, so I'm going to actually be refreshing my hair. So you can see I still have a lot of curl definition. I haven't been wearing my hair down at all. So my curls have really kind of snuggled up with each other. And this is great to learn how to accommodate your hair when traveling, because you may be traveling to a place with really hard water. You may be traveling to a place that doesn't have any water, okay? So I want to show you, my curls have really clumped up. Look how much hair that is. That's almost half the top of my crown, that they've really spiraled up together. And what's good about the buff too is that it reduces tangles. Now this is not an infomercial, okay? But this is how I've gone through with living with my hair, okay? Keeping its curl vitality. All right, and now I'm gonna show you how I refresh because I'm gonna need these curls to be popping a little bit more. Okay, so with that said, I'm going to lightly section off the top of my crown. Okay, so I'm going to pick up curl groupings. I'm not going to run my finger through them. And I am using a spray bottle. That's a mister. It has a really light spray. You can't see it, of course, but it's so light, it's like walking into a mist of the Amazon forest. I'm just gonna re-wet my hair because water helps to melt the product and glide the product efficiently. I'm using a cute little sachet that InnerSense has called Quiet Calm Curl Control. I'm using not that much at all, okay, at all. I'm putting it into my palm and I'm doing what's called emulsifying. I'm waking the product up. I'm going to take that curl grouping and I'm just going to coat it. I'm not trying to detangle. I'm not trying to perfect it. If I run into a bump in the road, I'll isolate that section. And I'm just basically smoothing and my curls stay intact because I'm not using a lot of tension. So basically this cream with that light mist is just reviving the hair. It's opening the cuticle just enough to allow this cream in, and I'm literally using like the size of a tiny bit of a dime, you know, basically, I don't know, like the size of your pinky nail. Let's just kind of gauge it like that. Okay, what this technique is doing is it's smoothing all the flyaways and it's recalibrating a few of those pieces. So then all my flyaways have gone away. I'm a little damp. This is going to re-dry. I am not going to mess with that section after. I am done with this section and now drops my top. Okay, so what you're gonna need is a spray bottle with a really light mist, and you're gonna be needing a sectioning clip. Not a hair tie, not a bobby pin, not a tiny little pin curl clip, but an actual clip. Okay, that's gonna help isolate that section very cleanly and really stay out of your way so you're not making a mess. Now, this is the key. I now take that new section that I dropped, I take enough hair that I can handle here, and I just go through. If it's a really big spiral, so I'll go and just nicely, gently separate that. And then again, I'm just doing palm to palm. It's like I'm petting it down. Okay, but if you also see, I'm elevated off of my head. So I'm not down here, smushing down here against my face, because I want my roots to maintain that 5-day volume, because that 5-day volume is what's going to give me shape with these now fresh, lightly dampened curls, because those ends are going to lose a little bit of that volume, because now we're reclosing that cuticle with new moisture and new hydration. Okay, so again, take a section that's big enough for you, big enough and small enough for your hands, okay? And it's like, this should already be, if you're setting your hair in sections, your curls should just stay in groupings over time. If they're not, your sleep regimen needs to be more on point. If your curl groupings are being compromised, then maybe you're not sectioning enough, you're not spending enough time. Maybe you think you're spending time, but it's not the right kind of time. Maybe it's more rush time and you're adding more product. I don't use a lot of product on my hair. I have about 30% product, 70% water when I first style. And when I scrunch and hold. Because curls have a memory, that's what elasticity is called. It's the ability for a curl to stretch out and back into itself. And if your hair is balanced, it'll have a nice balanced elasticity with a nice balance of protein and moisture. Usually, usually the whole protein thing is really for people. I'm not going to get into that right now, actually, sorry. But it's too early in the morning to be talking about protein, because there's all these myths about it, and it's 9 o'clock in the morning here in Czech Republic, so I think that's more for like a lunchtime conversation. Okay, so I'm getting closer to my hairline. For those of you who have tighter curls near your hairline, or in general anywhere on the head, you want to be cautious of actually taking that section and smoothing that section. You can bring your finger through it and kind of detangle it a little bit, as long as it is wet enough. If it's not wet enough, it's going to give you a lot of issues. So you can see all my curls are refreshing to shine and isolation. Day 5. So this is what's called a spray refresh. Okay, I'm just taking some water, spritzing it, just enough to coat it with a nice mist, like you're out in humidity, like a light mist rainfall. And I'm going into these curls and I'm separating them and gliding down them. They have a much higher curl, are much tighter, so because of that, they spring up a bit more. So as you can see, my before, I had a lot of webbing here. I was definitely looking a little bit on the not so shiny side, and now hopefully you can see I've managed to recalibrate all of my curls without having to fully wet down my roots, thus resulting in feeling wet and cold outside since it is very brisk out. And I managed for 5 days with my buff to keep my hair up. Now, some inside secrets. One, I kept my buff on underneath my hats. I kept my buff on during sleep. I kept it on during watching like a movie when I'm laying my head down on the pillow. I was really committed to preserving my hair, because I'm gonna be in Prague tomorrow, y'all. I'm gonna be doing hair out of Pop Chicomania Salon in the city. And I am very excited. So I will be joining live tomorrow at the salon. I'm also going to be doing some stories and some before and afters, so be there with me. I'm about 6 hours ahead time of New York time, and I'm very, 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 very excited. Look at this little curl. She's so happy. She's refreshed. Okay. Thank you for joining. Enjoy your day. Lots of love to you. Happy Valentine's Day. May you find love in all of the right places.